I'm live early because I didn't want to have to use my phone like last week. So I'm a little early. Don't feel like you have to come. Be ready right now. I'm not starting early. Nobody panic. I'm just drawing just for fun. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to get caught up in the Facebook Live not working like it happened on Friday. So I wanted to make sure it was going to work. So I'm just doodling to get warmed up. If anybody wants to doodle with me, that's all I'm doing. I'm not starting early. Not starting early, people who are just joining me. I just didn't want to have to use my phone again like last week, so I wanted to make sure it was going to work. So I'm just doodling. Good morning, everyone. I'm just doodling while we wait. Oh, that sounds like the ocean. Good morning. Not starting early, just doodling while we wait. Just want to make sure Facebook Live was going to work from my computer today, so popped on a little early. We will be doing both of those, Natalie. Shark and a jellyfish. Maybe not both today, but we will be doing both. You're just popping on. I only am drawing just to doodle, warm up. I won't start until a little after 10. I just didn't want Facebook Live not to work like last week. Oh boy. Oh boy. Lights are flickering here. If for some reason we get disconnected because the lights are just flickering, so if for some reason my internet goes out, I'll have to stop this live feed and I'll come back from my phone because my phone should work. Going back to doodling. Good morning, everyone. I did not start early. If you were just joining us and watching me draw, it's just I popped on early because I didn't want it to not work like Friday. But my lights were just flickering here. So if for some reason I lose power and I lose my Wi-Fi, I'll have to stop this feed and I'll come back on with my phone because my phone should work fine. 1 second. All right. Oh, somebody wants to say hi already. There he is, Mr. Snuggles. Hi, everybody. What do you think? You can't even see, but you're on the screen. He's been super sleepy and snuggly all of this. He's not going to want me to put him down. All right, a couple more minutes and we'll get started. Today we're going to set up our aquarium. I don't know if anybody read yesterday, but we're going to start with 2 different enclosures in this, just like the aquarium. We're going to do a fully underwater enclosure and then one that is one that is water and open air, like where a dolphin might be, and some other animals that are land and water animals that wouldn't be fully underwater. So we're going to start by setting up our indoor enclosure in just a couple of minutes, and then we'll draw 3 animals today. Just like last time, we're going to use practice paper to draw our animals so that when you feel like you've got a good hold on it, you can draw them in your final enclosure. But we will set up our enclosure this morning. All right, Puggy, you're going to go down, okay? Okay. All right. We're going to actually do, instead of a separate enclosures like we did with the zoo, it's going to be one big one. Now, I never worked at the aquarium. I don't know as much about marine animals. So there might be animals that shouldn't be together in our enclosures, but that's going to be okay. That's our made-up aquarium. Nobody's going to eat any animals. Okay, let me turn off my depressing music. And we will get started. So like I said, we're going to start with our enclosure. And you are going to need a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, not a problem. You can use the side of a piece of paper. You just need something to generally make a straight edge. If you don't have access to an extra piece of paper or a ruler or anything, a book, but it doesn't matter. They don't have to be perfectly straight lines because this is not for a grade. This is just for fun and nothing has to be perfect. All right, so you're going to start with your paper and you're going to create a rainbow that's going to connect the two bottom corners. You don't want it to be too high because what we're creating is the floor of our inside enclosure. So you know how when you're going into part of the aquarium, let me put my face back up, you are standing in front of the glass and it's sort of bent or rounded in front of you so you can see all the animals swimming by, and then there's a floor where all the people can stand. So the arc that we're going to make, or the rainbow, is that floor. So we don't want to make it too big because then there'll be a lot less room for our animals. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. Start at one corner, rainbow down to the other corner. So it'll look like this. You can see how messy my table is. It's a lot of paint and stain. I do a lot of my art projects on a table, on our dining room table. Okay. Saving the day from somebody. Okay, so we're going to use our ruler now to create the glass panes where our animals will be behind. So you want to approximately make a dot in the center of that arc. It does not have to be perfect. You don't need to measure it out unless you really want to. I know some of you out there probably want to measure it out. And you're just going to make a straight line from that dot up to the top of your paper, but don't make it all the way down. Okay, you want to start here and go up. Looks like that. Now we know when they put these glass panes up, they have to connect them together. So we're going to make a few more lines to show the different panels that are put together. You're going to make 2 on the left and 2 on the right. And you want to make them approximately the same width on either side. But again, we're not looking for perfection here. I'll never get this. All right, so you can see this is where the people would stand and face here to see all the animals behind the glass. I'm just gonna hold it here for a second so everybody can get caught up. I don't want to go too fast. Now, if you want to, you can just leave this plain. If you have been to the National Aquarium in Baltimore, you know, it's just carpeted here, nothing fancy. If you want to make it a little more interesting, here's one way you can do that. All you're going to do is from that center point again, is make 2 lines that are going to go out. I can't do it like this. Let me just show you. I'm going to make sort of a triangle shape. So it's going to be at an angle from that center point. and an angle on the other side. What we're adding here is sort of a little bit 1-point perspective drawing. We're stepping it up a little bit. But again, not curriculum based, not for a grade. And then what you're going to do is make horizontal lines that start where your lines, your vertical lines are. And I know that didn't make any sense, so let me just show you. All right, I'm left-handed, so I got to turn it this way. So I'm going to connect here, where this line is, and here, and make a horizontal line. I'm going to do the same for here and here. You can see I've made somewhat of a tile floor. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. Again, we're not looking for perfection. And then what you can do when you color this is you can color it like a tile floor. Like maybe you could do a checker pattern like black, 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 black. That's how I did mine. So when I pull up my final to show you that, the final that I'm working on in progress, you can see how I've done that, and I'll hold it up at the end for everybody to see more. So don't worry about it. If you didn't get this part right now, you can always go back and rewatch if you want to add that, or you can just keep it plain if this is not something you want to add. Just a little bit of an additional drawing for 1-point perspective for that floor. Okay. Now we're going to get to the drawing, or to the animals. Hoping everybody likes my shirt today. Chose it specifically because Supreme Art, my husband bought it for me. It looks like paint. Okay, so we're going to start with a request and one of my favorites at the aquarium, the jellyfish. Of course, not my favorite at the beach. I'm sure you've all seen jellyfish at the beach. A lot of times we see those little blob patties that look like just like blobs all over the beach that you can sit down and throw at people. It's just fine. But when we see them in the ocean with their long tentacles, that's the part that stings. So jellyfish are free-swimming marine animals, and they have an umbrella shape to their bodies with their tailing tentacles. And most jellyfish are clear, especially the ones that you would see at the aquarium. But what they do is the way they light their enclosure, they appear sort of that pink orange color with a bright blue background. If anybody knows about complementary colors, orange and blue are complementary, so that's why they really stand out and look like they're almost glowing. It's done on purpose, so you can really see them and you can see their inner workings. It just makes for a much more interesting exhibit than if you just saw clear jellyfish with no bright background. And jellyfish are found all over the world, and they're known to have existed for over 5 million years. 500 million years. And in some cultures, they actually eat jellyfish. I know when my kids find them on the beach, the little ones, the patties that I was talking about, they like to pretend they are making them into hamburgers and stuff like that. But I don't think they would ever actually eat a jellyfish. So there are cultures that do. Most jellyfish are 1 millimeter, so teeny tiny, to about 6 feet. That's an average what most jellyfish are. But there's one jellyfish called the lion's mane jellyfish, and I would encourage you to look it up. It's pretty creepy looking. And the biggest lion's mane jellyfish that has ever been found was 120 feet, and that includes the body, the main body, and then his tentacles as well. So that would be pretty scary if you ran into one of those. They eat plankton and crustaceans and small fish and fish eggs. We are making our enclosures. You don't really have to include food in these, especially since some of our animals might eat others of our animals. If you want to, you can draw little tiny small fish and crustaceans for them to eat, or fish eggs. But maybe we'll just focus more on the drawing and the cuteness of these animals. And jellyfish need to have continuous movement. So enclosures at the aquarium have to have a continuous flow of water so they can keep moving. They can't be in still water. Also, one thing that I've used in my classroom when we've done fish or other marine life projects is I've projected the live feed from the Monterey Bay Aquarium. They have a jellyfish camera and they have a shark tank camera, which are really cool. Now, they're on Pacific time hours, so they're not open now, so don't try to go there. But if you go to YouTube and type in the Monterey Bay Aquarium, it'll have both the jelly cam and the shark tank cam, and you can see those a little bit later. I think it's at 10 a.m. Pacific time, so later this afternoon you can check that out. It's very fun. I've actually put it on in my classroom just for sort of some relaxing background scenery. I know we did that with first grade last year when we made our fish for Japanese Children's Day. That was a lot of fun. Okay, I'm being asked to slow down, so I'll just take a moment. Hopefully everybody's caught up and heard all the info about the jellyfish. We are doing a narwhal later this week. Hi, Alexis. I get some shout outs today. Just seeing some now. Oops. Uh-oh. All right. So with our jellyfish, we will do a shark too, I promise. I'm going to go down here. Our jellyfish, we're going to start with a rounded oval. It's like we've started a lot of our drawings. So not quite a circle, but not too much of a flat oval. And then we're going to make sort of the under part of the jellyfish. And it's sort of just like, it's like a flower almost. Just going to make little circles that don't all the way go to the edge. It sort of looks like a flower. And we're going to add his eyes. Now, of course, this is a very much a cartoon jellyfish. We're going to add big eyes that come off the top of his head. You're going to want to erase those lines in there. Right now, he looks like his eyes are closed. I don't know if it helps if I turn up my volume for you to hear me better. Yes, we are going to do a dolphin. Not today, but we are going to do a dolphin. Then you want to add the pupils of the eyes. Now mine are going to look strange because I didn't put those X's to erase. So you would have erased those lines. I'm just going to keep them in. So mine look a little weird, but if those lines weren't there, they would be fine. Let's make him a happy jellyfish. He's just hanging out in our aquarium, not hurting any humans. Oh, do you see somebody trying to sneak up? And then, of course, tentacles. And you can make as many tentacles as you'd like. And the easiest way to do that is to make a squiggly line. And then right next to it, make the exact same squiggly line and attach it at the bottom. So I find it easier if you make your longest ones first, maybe space them out. Then you can go back in and make shorter ones. and make some that maybe go behind other ones. And that's our jellyfish. And just like with everything we've made, when it comes time to coloring in your final, you can make it whatever color you want. And who's to say there's not a rainbow jellyfish out there somewhere, or a silver and gold jellyfish, or mine. I made mine turquoise and pink, because why not? Dolphin and shark. Yes, we're going to do both. Blobfish, yes. Pufferfish, yes. Hi, Ella. Hi, Colin and Lizzie. Try not to go too fast. Ooh, a stingray is good. Don't have that on there. Write stingray down. All right. We are going to move on to our most requested and highly unusual blobfish. I had to look this up, and I was taken aback by a real life blobfish, because you all kept saying how cute they are. And they are not cute. Now, the blobfish are cute, but a real life blobfish, I was afraid to show my 8-year-old Sam because I thought he might have nightmares about it. But a blobfish, the word that they use to describe it is a gelatinous mass. So that just says it right there. It is a deep sea fish, mainly found, or they are found in Australia and New Zealand in the deep sea, about 2,000 to 4,000 feet down. And they are about 12 inches long. And like I said, their flesh is a gelatinous mass, which is gross, interesting at the same time. The density of a blobfish is slightly less than water, so that allows them to float just above the ocean floor. So they don't lay on the ocean floor. They float, hover just above it, and they eat what floats in front of them. So it sounds like they're kind of lazy. They just sort of hover there, and when something floats in front of them, like a deep sea crustacean, it eats it. So yes, we're going to draw the blobfish. And generally, the ones I've seen, the blobfish is sort of like a pinkish, sort of fleshy peach color. But again, you can make yours whatever you want it to be. I think I made mine 2 shades of pink. But you know, a blobfish, and I would like to see a rainbow blobfish. If Olivia Murphy is out there, I know she would make it a rainbow blobfish. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to start with its head, and the head is sort of, I'm going to use gelatinous every time, a gelatinous triangle. So it means it's rounded, gelatinous. And then we're going to add its body and tail, and it comes off the right side. You just add a back, fin, typical fish-shaped tail. I'm going to hold it here for just a second, make sure everybody gets caught up. Yes, we are going to do a turtle. Hi, Sean. Yes, I know. The jellyfish eyes were definitely made up, but this whole thing is made up, so it's super fun. They are cute and gross. I like that description. Okay, so now we're going to add some more fins. Yes, it's actually going to be a sea turtle. It's not going to be today, but it will be in this inside enclosure. Okay, so we're going to add one fin to its back, and then two side fins that have a little dip. Yeah, I think we can do a frog. The frog might wait until the farm, but we're definitely doing a seahorse. And okay, so now we're going to do the face. The face is the best part. So it has this nose that reminds me of the cartoon. I guess it's a nose. I don't even know. Reminds me of the cartoon character Ziggy. And then its mouth is pretty much under its nose. And if anybody saw my drawing from this morning, a reminder about this, they look like they're sad, lonely blobfish. So you're going to make a shape, sort of a rounded ellipse or curved ellipse with a line through the middle to make his mouth. But it's going to go under the nose. The most beautiful thing in the world. I love it. And then we're going to add its eyes. And you can make them large like we've been making them, but I'm going to make them sort of off to the side like this. And then we're going to make just some little lines on his fins. And now we have our blobfish. They are very derpy. I love that. We might do a crab. I wrote it down. I'm not sure where he would fit in, probably in this underwater one. Hi, Nikki. Manatee is on the list for our outdoor or open air enclosure. I think I said hi to Ella. Hi, Ella. Okay. So then the last one for today is one of my favorites and one of Disney's favorites, and it's a clownfish. So Addie Roman, if you are out there, this one's for you. There are 30 species of clownfish. Of course, we all recognize the clownfish from Finding Nemo. And clownfish are very small. They're about 2.8 inches to 6.7 inches. They're small little guys. When you're drawing your picture, don't worry about making things to scale, because if you try to draw a clownfish super tiny, you might not be able to get all your details in there. So if you have to make it a little bit bigger than normal, that's okay. They are found in the warmer waters, and as you know, in Finding Nemo, they were in Australia. So the Indian Ocean, the Red Sea, Pacific Oceans, Great Barrier Reef, so very warm tropical waters. and they eat small zooplankton. I didn't know there was a difference, but it said zooplankton and algae. And they live in a sea anemone, as you know from the movie. And sometimes they eat little bits of the anemone as well to get some nutrients. And after the mother clownfish lays the eggs, the males take care of them. And then if something were to happen to the female, then the male is completely in charge. And as we saw in Finding Nemo, they got that right. So that was based on fact. So that was awesome. All right, so we're gonna go with our clownfish here. Now what I'm gonna do at the end of the clownfish, I'm actually going to add some color so you can see where the different blocks of color are, because that's how clownfish are really well known, or what they're known for is their specific kind of stripes and the blocks of color. So I'm gonna do that at the end. All right, so we're gonna start with a basic fish shape. And then add a tail that's sort of like a single fin, like a flat fish cracker. Hi, Colin and Lizzie. I'm not sure which one that is, unless it's my sister, but I think it's my niece and nephew. Hi, Nick Patrone. Okay, so then we're going to start to add the features. And the first stripe is rounded around the face, like this. I guess we can do a snake for the farm. That's a great idea. We are going to do a narwhal. We're going to add an eye and a mouth. So an eye is just going to be a circle with a pupil in the middle and a little mouth. Then we're going to add one of the more distinguishing stripes that sort of have the one side is just slightly bent and the other is a curve. So let me show you what I mean by that. Sort of about halfway down, there's a little bump, it goes down, and then curved like that. Then we're going to add some stripes to the back part. So we do another curve here, and then one like this. I'm just going to stop for a second to get everybody caught up. Hank is currently snoring at my feet. I'll pick him up one more time before we're done, so everybody can see Hank one more time. Okay, now we're going to add the fins. And the fins start and end at the stripes mostly. So we're going to start with ones that are on the back. So in this section right here, so in between these two stripes, that's where you're going to put the fins. You're going to meet those two lines. And if you want to make it Dory, oh, I guess we have to make Dory. I'll have to see what kind of fish I'm planning to do, but it might be a dory fish. I'm so bad at knowing which way to do this. Okay, and then the next set of fins starts at the wiggle line and goes forward, but it doesn't have another line to meet. So it stops at that wiggle line. Yes, we are doing an otter. Hi, Colin. Hi, Farina family. And then we have one more little fin that goes on the side. Hi, Patrick. I'd be afraid to do a piranha, then it would really eat all of our animals. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the blocks of color. Like I said, it's really important. It's really distinguishing to have the different blocks of color on a clownfish, but that doesn't mean you have to make them orange and black and white. You can do whatever you want. So I'm going to add that. I'm going to show you where the black goes first because that's what I have in my hand. Each fin, the little line we made at the top, is where it's black. Okay. And then orange, or whatever color you want, is going to be this facial area. And I'm just quickly coloring in. I'm not doing the best job. And then this section of the body, including the part of the fin and these two top fins. Then this stripe is white, the squiggly strip. And then this is orange. This stripe right here is white, and then the back part of the tail is orange. It's very pale on the screen. I promise it's orange. My way of showing him swimming. Okay, so now I'm going to show you my enclosure so far. And I started just the same way we did. So I have my floor, and I did do the checkerboard. And I started drawing my animals in there. And you can do more than one. You can have more than one jellyfish. You can have more than one clownfish, more than one blobfish. And then I started adding some plants. And somebody asked about doing something where the clownfish live. Oops, this is my rendition of a sea anemone right there. Very simple. Obviously not to scale because it would need to be a lot bigger for that big clownfish to fit in. But that's what I was saying, that you don't have to draw things to scale because otherwise you'd have a teeny tiny clownfish and it'd be hard to draw. So you can see, and also recommendation, do not color in this background. You're going to want to be tempted to make it blue like water, but we're not going to do that till all of our animals are drawn in here. Do that the very last thing. We're going to be working on this enclosure today, obviously, tomorrow and Wednesday, and then we'll do our outdoor or open air enclosure Thursday and Friday. All right, so there's my example. And as promised, come here. Oh, goodness. Yes, he just hit his head. Here he is. Look, everybody wants to see you. Can you look in there? No? Hi. He's super sleepy. He's not taking this. Actually, what he's doing is he's playing more during the day, not sleeping all day like he usually does when we're at school all day. So he plays a lot more, so that he's super tired all the time. But he's cute. All right, so tomorrow I have 3 more animals lined up, but with some requests, we might try to squeeze in 4. I will be back at 10 a.m. I would love to see your drawings so far if you want to post them, either on the video or just on my page or on your own pages, and tag me. I'd love to see it. Have a great day. Stay dry, stay warm. I'll see you tomorrow.